Welcome to No Apologies on Beck, where we are unafraid to speak the truth. I am your host, Rick Becker, our co-host, Lori Hintz.
I'm glad to be here. I'm so pumped.
What are you pumped about tonight?
I had such a good day today watching the legislature.
Oh, that is
I did.
We had a good win.
Yeah.
We did.
It was great.
So, well, let's dive right into segment one.
I don't know. That's why I'm happy. I don't know.
Right.
Are you happy today? I'm happy.
I'm very happy.
I was very happy too. I saw a little video that you did on Facebook, and you seemed happy.
We're gonna put.
Yeah,
yes,
we're gonna
show some video
super
clips
cool.
of that. So we're talking about House Bill 1323. We've talked about it on the show before. We've had some guests. This is the bill which will, if it becomes law, when it becomes law, will prohibit mask mandates. So, it was pretty surprising that it got a do pass in the House, went over to the Senate, and received a do not pass recommendation from the Senate committee.
6-1.
6-1.
Not just a little do not pass. It was pretty.
Exactly. So we had, there was a rally or a protest, what have you, on the Capitol over the weekend. We had speakers come at the latter part of last week. There was a lot of attention given to it. The people of North Dakota contacted their senators en masse with emails and phone calls and so forth. So this turned into a big deal. 6-1 do not pass in the North Dakota Senate would generally be
A slam dunk.
it's gonna fail hugely. So we've got a video clip from this weekend with the rally or protest. What are you calling it?
Well, I thought it was more of a rally. I didn't think
it seemed like it was a rally. I heard that the term protest was
Well, you kind of have to
used.
say protest so you don't get into trouble. So you can do a protest legally, but you can't do a rally.
You don't have to ask permission to do a protest?
Right. You can protest anytime you want. So it was a protest.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
They're going to amend the bill, so just be prepared for that. In order to get a victory, we probably have to, it's out of my hands, it's out of yours, it's completely in the Senate's hands. So I don't know how they'll amend it, but I do believe that there are a couple amendments that will cause it to pass. And the third one, you're not going to like it, but I'm going to have to share it with you. The first option is amend it to be COVID only. The second possible amendment is a 2-year sunset clause. That one I'm hoping they'll do because that'll give us at least 2 years to say, hey, you know what? Life's okay without the mask mandate. We can to let the parents realize that we don't have to mask our kids in school. I like that one the best of the three. I talked to 3 senators just this morning. I've been talking to them over the weekend, but just this morning, 2 senators who were a strong no told me that they would switch to a yes if we put a 2-year sunset clause on that. Now, the victory is really dim in the Senate. It's much more dim than it was in the House. But again, keep reminding, I can't control an amendment as a House. I can't go to the Senate and do that, nor can they on our side. And it's in their hands. So please encourage your senators tonight. Ole Larson is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for us, and I appreciate him being on the bill. The third bill.
And contact their senators, they did.
They did. I said this weekend that that rally was on Monday. I had planned on attending, but I had to do this testimony for another bill which is going to pass the Senate, which I we'll save it for another segment.
Okay.
So let's pull up the Representative Hoverson was talking about amendments, 3 possible amendments that he thought might come on. Well, one of them, he talked about a 2-year sunset clause, which means that the prohibition only lasts for 2 years, and then at 2 years, automatically, you can start having mask mandates again.
Right.
What was that first one he didn't like? Oh, that it only applied to COVID. I don't like either of those two. But pull up the graphic, if you will. This is the bill amended. Now, it may be a little bit hard for you to read. The amendment, if you look at that first little section there on line 7 where there's red and green, what that part of the amendment does is to change it to only a statewide elected official or the state health officer, because the health officer is not elected. Right. It takes out political subdivision. It takes out local. Okay, that's one. So this would change it from no mandates anywhere in the state to no state mandates, statewide mandates. And then that's really the major part of it. The other part is just kind of taking out some other language. So there was no sunset added. There was no limitation to COVID. and they changed it to statewide. I think that's a
Fantastic.
great, now, a better bill would have been to leave the local in, but,
Right.
but, you know, we're saying, hey, we'll let the counties and cities have some local control. They can decide if they want to mandate. If the people of that city or county don't like it, they can go straight to and have easier access to their commissioners. So this is, I think, a very good amendment on this bill. Now,
Agree.
I pulled together some clips the guys did and squished them together for you. I did a live feed on Facebook today while it was going on in the Senate. The Senate started a half hour earlier than the House, so I was able to sit out and do the live feed on Facebook. If you have 28 minutes free, I think it's enjoyable to watch
It was.
because you see what's going on. Anyway, so we're going to give you a
You
few
give
minutes of that.
commentary as
Yes, I
it was
did.
going on. That was
So go ahead and
So
roll
this
that.
is,
Just so you know where things are at, if you tuned in late. In the Senate, this is live right now. They are discussing the bill which would prohibit statewide mask mandates. Amendments were brought to the floor and were passed. So cities and counties can still institute mask mandates, but the state would be prevented, and businesses would still be allowed to do what they want. Senator Doug Larson, who is completely awesome, is giving all the details of the numbers. Following discussion, then they will take a vote on the bill.
Every Tuesday for 4 months, 30% of the cases. Now, I certainly find the flaw in my own data, as it's only Tuesdays. So I spot checked last night. As of last night, North Dakota had 1,142 active cases, of which 546 were in Cass County. That's 48%. So I decided I'd take this a little bit further and
Cass
just
County
see what else we could find.
has most of the cases, but they're the county that does most of the masking. I was just in Fargo and people are still masking there like they live in Minneapolis.
Over that 5-week period, Cass County accounted for 42% of our new cases. South Dakota, no mandate, less cases per capita.
Amen, brother.
Cass County, most restrictive mask mandate in North Dakota, more cases per capita.
I'm going to kiss this guy on
Despite
the
having
lips.
24% of the population.
I don't believe it's at all about whether masks are serving a purpose or not. I see this as more about the classic struggle, about the mandate, the classic struggle of individual freedom versus the common good. And there's...
Oh, don't clap, don't clap, don't clap.
Please keep
Wanzik,
silence.
Awesome.
Please keep the silence. Let the senators do their business. Senator Wanzik, continue.
Yes, there are times where we all understand for the common good that we might have to understand that our liberties are not to be infringed, but need to be responsible as an individual. And these are difficult situations, but when I think of this bill, I often think back to one of my favorite Thomas Jefferson quotes that I learned of my very first session, and this is my 13th session, so that was quite some time ago. And it goes something like this: I know of no safe depository of the ultimate powers of society other than the people themselves. And if we feel them not worthy, if we feel them not wholesome in the discretion of their power, it is not our right to take
I think we
away
are going to
their
get a win
power,
here. I mean, we're hearing
but our
some powerful stuff.
responsibility to educate their
And
discretion.
Wanzik talking about the
These
freedom in this
are the
manner. I mean,
true
this is, I
correctives
literally
of abuse of
have
constitutional
goosebumps.
power.
This is what we should be hearing
And
every
I
single
see
day
this
on the
in
floor of the
that
House, on
light,
the floor of the
in
Senate.
this particular
I'm
time.
thinking it's going to be a yes vote,
I'm
and I tell you
all
what,
for
just half an hour ago, I was
educating
thinking it
the
was going to be a no vote.
As horrible as it is, Mr. President, this disease that we have, this China virus, has been used as a political weapon and continues to be used as a political weapon. And I felt compelled to stand up, even though I'm sure nobody wants to really talk about that. But my constituents and hundreds, if not thousands, of people have emailed us in the last week, including about 50 overnight last night. I don't know what people do at 2 a.m, emailing about mask mandates, but apparently they did. I think part of it is I guess when I came to this nation and took an oath to this Constitution, I knew that liberty always trumps safety, at least for the people of North Dakota and their history. And I think, like the excellent carrier of the amendment spoke so eloquently about, the battle that we have in the world and in this nation is how much safety do we give up for liberty?
Questions on final passage of House Bill 1323. Secretary will open the key. Each senator will record their vote. Have all the senators voted? Does any senator wish to change their vote? Secretary will close the key and take the tally. Final tally in House Bill 1323 reveals 30 ayes, 17 nays, 0 absent not voting. Bill is passed. Next bill on the 14th order, House Bill 1288. Madam Secretary.
All right. You guys, they did the right thing. Yay, Senate. Get the hell out of here. Wow, today's a great day. Did you hear all that talk about freedom on the floor of the North Dakota State Senate? I have goosebumps right now. I literally have goosebumps right now. This is so fantastic. This is a win for all the crap that goes on and all this sausage making. Amen. Oh my goodness. I am so happy right now. So there you go. Now, here's the thing. I bet old Governor Burgum's going to veto it. We'll see. I shouldn't say I bet. I have to think about it politically and triangulate and figure out what he's going to actually do. But if he vetoes it, then we're going to have to come back in. And God knows that governor, our Governor Burgum, loves power. He loves power. He is in charge. He's not called King Burgum for nothing. So we'll see what he does.
We will see what he does.
That was awesome.
It was.
That was awesome. So I guess we will be right back. Hang with us, folks. We are going to be talking about Major League Baseball, Georgia, Delta Airlines, what have you.
When you can't find answers to your recurring health challenges, it can feel like your health and your future are being held hostage. The Wellness Way is a network of health restoration clinics that think and act differently to solve the health challenges others can't. Here, we disrupt the standard approach to care through a combination of testing, individual plans, and one-on-one guidance, putting your health and your future where they belong, in your own hands.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
Hey Bucks fans, if you're planning an outing, birthday, or employee appreciation night, then bring your group out to the Buck Stop for a night of fast-paced, high-scoring football. Your group will receive discounted tickets, options for reserved seating, scoreboard messages, VIP services, swag, and a space to gather during the game. You can also participate in pre-game ceremonies, halftime entertainment, in-game contests, and more. Call 701-595-0771 or visit bismarckbucks.com/tickets. All GA is first come, first serve. We'll see you on the turf. Go Bucks!
All right, we're back. It's No Apologies on Beck. If you're not in a good mood, then you weren't watching the first segment. Rewind.
It's so fun.
All right.
It'll make you happy. It will. That was very exciting. So, moving on to something that's really in the news right now, and that is Major League Baseball. And I think in some ways, Major League Baseball has really stepped in it. They have at very least overstepped their bounds. I just want to say a couple of things. Fun fact, Georgia has a Republican governor. Colorado has a Democrat governor. This will come into play later on. Also, let me just say, you're a sport. Stay in your lane. There. Feel better having said that.
Yeah. So, okay, let's set the table here. Georgia passed a new law, and it deals with elections, deals with voting, and it requires for mail-in ballots, for mail-in voting, to have an ID. No, that's the short. We're going to go into a little bit more.
Right.
Well, the left has lost their mind
They have lost
because of this. And what you had was Delta and Coca-Cola, which are based in Georgia, right?
Correct.
They went berserk, and they decided they're going to, do whatever, be against this, go against their own home state. Major League Baseball then jumped on board and said, you know what, this All-Star game, we're going to move it somewhere else because we want to punish all of the people in Georgia because this law was passed which makes it harder to cheat. And then, and this is where we're starting with here, we've got...
everybody else jumps on board.
Right. We've got 1,000 woke companies unite against election integrity laws.
You can kind of see their logos there. There's a good portion of them, of the biggies at least, in the logos.
And this is so hard. You can't boycott all these people and still like...
They really do make it hard, don't they?
We're too comfortable in life to forego all the nice comforts that these people give us, these businesses. So, all right, let's flip to the next graphic because the commissioner for Major League Baseball, and you pointed out to me the other night that Major League Baseball, MLB, is BLM backwards.
It is.
And I think that's intentional. It's got to be.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I do think it is interesting and instructive that the two are starting to coalesce.
Well, that's the problem, is that big business is coalescing with the woke movement. You've got here that the commissioner said that in announcing the withdrawal from Georgia of the All-Star game, that the league's values are at stake and charged the Georgia law discriminates against minorities.
The league's values are to play a sport that is entertaining. That is the Major League Baseball value.
Yes.
So just stay in your lane and knock off the politics. Right. It's very aggravating to me because, well, personally, I was at one time a huge baseball fan, big-time baseball fan. Went to Minnesota to watch my Twins play 2 times a year usually. Big weekends, spent gobs of money, and after there was kneeling and things like that started, I was out. And I'm bitter. I'm very bitter that they ruined my sport for me. I'm very mad.
I have a hard time sitting through a whole game. And other people are too. They've been losing fans, and that's why over the years, Major League Baseball has tried to shorten their game.
Yep.
I mean, a product's so good, you have to give people less of it.
I am very, very sad about the way that they have gone woke on this. Is very aggravating to me because I feel robbed of a sport that I really, really enjoyed. And I think hockey's kind of staying away from the whole politically correct thing so far. Having said that, it's the kiss of death probably. Now they're going to probably go do the same thing, but it's very aggravating to me.
Let's pull up that next graphic. So this alliance of 1,000 companies asks, companies that become members to agree to a pledge. We believe, this is the pledge, we believe the strength of the United States lies in its people, each with the power and the potential to shape the future of our country. That's fine. Together, our companies have the platform and the reach to encourage every American to speak up, achieving the promise of their participation. Also, just fine. Like all Americans, our companies have unique values, yet we are united in envisioning a future where everyone is engaged in civics, starting with voting in every election. Here's the problem. It all sounds good, but there are two things. Number one, it's indeterminate. We don't know what values are they standing for.
Correct.
And the other thing is that, I mean, in their own words, they have the platform and the reach. They are pushing an agenda. They're pushing an agenda, and it may be that the CEOs and the higher-ups really embrace the leftist progressive agenda, or it could be that they have no spines and they think this is where the country wants them to be and they don't want to be criticized.
I'm wondering if they're getting pressure from people. I mean, from whom are they getting pressure? Big tech? Are they getting pressure from the Biden administration? I mean, we'll get into that later, but he weighed in as well. And to me, I want to say, you know what? Stay in your lane and do your sport and knock it off.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you saw a lot of the companies that were up before. Keep in mind, what they are doing is they're jumping on board with their virtue signaling, letting you know how woke they are.
Exactly.
Because of a law in Georgia that passed that requires some type, and we're going to get into it, identification for absent voting, absentee ballots. They already have a law in place for voter ID required for in-person voting. They moved it, extended it to absent. So they lost their mind. Ironically and hypocritically, that's the word of the left, or it applies to the left.
That's right.
Many of those companies require identification to do business.
To do anything.
Delta Airlines obviously requires it. If you want to use Amazon or PayPal, you need to have identification put into the database. If you want to charge cards, you have to. Same with Capital One. United Airlines is on that. I mean, the ability for them to compartmentalize where, oh no, it's okay and not racist to require an ID here. But oh my gosh, you require an ID for voting, racist. So
the latest polls say that a great vast majority of Americans believe that you should have an ID to vote. I mean, it's a very common thing.
Yes.
In Democrats, I saw it was like 56%. So it was even more than half of Democrats thought that. So I don't know where this whole woke idea is really coming from, because it ain't the people.
Yep. No, it is not at all. And we're going to continue this discussion in the next segment. But here's what I would say. It's the morons that jump in first, right? The others are followers. All of these CEOs are spineless. Not all, almost all of the CEOs are spineless, and they're going to follow because there's suddenly momentum. They don't want to be left out. I'm going to say that Delta and Coca-Cola are the ones that should be paying a price here.
Right.
Now, what can you do? I mean, a lot of people say, well, boycotts don't work. Maybe boycotts are wrong.
I think they've worked before.
I think they should feel pain for jumping on board the woke movement and alienating greater than 50% of their potential customer base.
I agree.
I mean, I tell you what, whatever you're drinking, if it's a Coca-Cola product, just switch. Switch for 3 months. 3 months, that's all I ask you. Switch for 3 months. Because by that time, you're probably going to be hooked on that new product. I drink Diet Mountain Dew. I'm pretty sure that's a Pepsi product.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. The other thing is Delta. You know what I would do? Maybe I haven't thought this through. I'm thinking off the cuff here. Off the cuff.
I'm flying American when I fly next, so.
If you have, this is a thought. Tell me what you think.
Okay.
Book, you have to go somewhere, right? You know, it's a legitimate flight. Book, you have 24 hours to cancel without penalty. Book on Delta. The next morning, cancel and let them know you're canceling because they're idiots.
Great
They're
idea.
leftist supporting idiots. Cancel, tell them you're going to go with American or someone else.
Great plan.
Delta
that way they get
should
the message
feel it
too. That's a good idea.
Absolutely should.
That's a good
I don't know. You can try. Why not? All right, folks, we're going to come back. We're going to talk more about leftist wokeness idiocy. Hang with us.
When you can't find answers to your recurring health challenges, it can feel like your health and your future are being held hostage. The Wellness Way is a network of health restoration clinics that think and act differently to solve the health challenges others can't. Here, we disrupt the standard approach to care through a combination of testing, individual plans, and one-on-one guidance, putting your health and your future where they belong, in your own hands.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
We're the ladies of Another View, bringing you a fresh view on local issues. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that the most condescending, rude email you've ever received?
Well, welcome to
National
the
news.
third term of a certain president. I really believe that.
And different perspectives you won't get on the mainstream media. Watch us weekday afternoons at 4:30 Central Time on Beck News and at beck.news.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York style pizza. We also feature gyros with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
All right, we're back. It is No Apologies on Beck, your after-hours oasis of sanity. I'm your host, Rick Becker, co-host Lori Hintz.
That'd be me.
We're talking about wokeness. We are talking about fascism. What? Fascism, yes.
You said fascism.
We're going to have another discussion because we can't get everything in. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, cronyism is the better-looking sister of fascism. And we have entered into a world of blatant, overt fascism. It's a little bit soft at this point, but it can only go in one direction at this point. So we're going to talk about that in another day, another segment. But I want to let you know, we've talked about the fact that this law requires voter ID, and God, that means it's racist. But I want to tell you something. Number one, this only applies to absentee ballots, okay? You need to bring or show your driver's license. You need to have that, right? Does that sound good to you, Lori?
That's correct.
It sounds fine. Except what if you don't have a driver's license?
Well, then you can have an ID. You can have a
yes,
state-issued ID.
they're going to let you have a state ID. How much does it cost, Lori?
It's free.
It's free, ladies and gentlemen. It's free. If you don't have a driver's license, they give you a state ID for free.
That's true.
What if you don't have a state ID?
Well, then you can get a water bill or something from your house.
You can get a utility bill. You can. What if they don't have utilities?
Well, that's problematic.
They can put their 4 digits of their social
That's
security
right, the
card.
last 4 digits. That's right, he's right.
So, but the problem is that people who are in minorities, they don't have driver's licenses. They can't get IDs because they don't know how to drive. They're too poor to get the gas to drive.
Yep.
Minorities also don't pay utilities, and they don't have social security cards. That's what they're saying, people. That's what they're saying. Candace Owens
He's being facetious. Okay.
That's what they are saying. That's
Yeah,
not what I'm saying.
That is what they're saying.
Candace Owen says, hey, black people know how to get IDs. Hello. Pretending we are too stupid to figure out how to get to the DMV is an insult and speaks volumes about what Democrats truly think about us.
She's right.
That is true.
It's insulting.
You're telling me these laws disproportionately affect minorities? What you're saying, if you believe that, if you're saying that, is that minorities are too stupid to do this. And yet they somehow can do it in every other facet of life. You're liars.
It's so hypocritical. Speaking of liars,
Okay.
Ronna McDaniel kind of called out the president. Let's take a look at that.
All right.
You know, it's hard to watch with the hypocrisy we're seeing from Major League Baseball, and I think the governor said it so well. You know who's getting hurt? The little person. Yeah. Atlanta, a majority black city, those hot dog vendors, those hotels, these businesses that have been decimated by the pandemic, they are hurting the little guy based on a lie told by the president, by President Joe Biden, who lied about the specifics of this law, which has been amplified by his big tech friends and his media allies. And they have lied. And you know what's funny? Their Twitter account hasn't been suspended. They're still on Facebook. They're allowed to lie to the American people, hurt small businesses, and continue to move forward. It is a total hypocrisy compared to how Republicans would be treated in the same situation.
Ron, I want to put a couple of things up on the screen for the folks at home to look at. First of all, an AP poll and then something from Mitch McConnell. One of the big issues with this Georgia law is voter ID. An AP poll found that overall 72% of Americans favor showing some sort of ID to vote. Republicans, it's 91%. Even a majority of Democrats support that. And then here's what Mitch McConnell said about corporations getting involved in these political issues. He said, quote, from election law to environmentalism to radical social agendas to the Second Amendment, parts of the private sector keep dabbling in behaving like a woke parallel government. The Senate Minority Leader suggested that
See, there you go. That even, even Democrats think voter IDs are okay. It's very interesting.
Well, I don't know how you can make it easier. I mean, it's literally impossible to make it. This is all manufactured outrage. It's once again all about a fake level of racism. It has nothing to do with that.
Well, now Major League Baseball has decided that they are pulling out of Atlanta, they're pulling out of Georgia for the All-Star game, but they are moving instead, this is my favorite hypocrisy part, they are moving to Colorado. They're moving to Colorado. Now this is when I say I have to circle back like Psaki, circle back Psaki. Georgia has a Republican governor, they're leaving there, and Colorado has a Democrat governor, so kind of makes you wonder, what they're thinking there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's, I have to say that all of this alarmism that they say about how it's going to disenfranchise minority voters, it's
created.
It's completely false.
Fabricated.
And each of the circumstances in which the left says the world's going to end, something terrible, if we are somehow able to get past that and do something, it comes to pass that their claims never come to fruition.
It's true.
One of the areas, even in North Dakota, when I had my concealed carry for firearms passed, it was going to be the Wild West in North Dakota.
Oh, I remember.
We passed that in 2017.
Never happened.
I haven't seen the Wild West. Their claims are completely false. Time and time and time again, we recognize that. I don't know why, and I think maybe we do. I think our viewers recognize how they're false time and time again. But somehow the media still gloms on to that false narrative, which is all, again, created to further divide us. That's really what it comes down to.
Rather than uniting people with baseball and hot dogs and apple pie and the national anthem, let's divide everybody. Makes me angry, frustrating.
I don't know.
All right.
It's maddening. I think probably, we could do another 3 segments, but I think this is maybe a good time to segue out of this segment.
We're going into brain food next.
Brain food is next, ladies and gentlemen. I've got some good ones.
I can't wait.
Good ones.
We're the ladies of Another View, bringing you a fresh view on local issues.
And different perspectives you won't get on the mainstream media. Watch us weekday afternoons at 4:30 Central Time on Beck News and at beck.news.
Watch No Filter with me, Debbie Schlussel, for no-nonsense, unfiltered analysis of the news that matters to you. You'll see engaging guests.
It began a 444-day nightmare.
Entertaining analysis, and it has everything to do with something that happened in history. And honest movie reviews. Trust me, this is just atrocious. No Filter with Debbie, weeknights at 10 p.m. Central on Beck News and online at beck.news.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit, plus Nathan's hot dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York To Go, we deliver for you.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use your promo code, and for a limited time, when you buy one set of sheets, you'll get another set absolutely free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
All right.
It's brain food.
It's brain food, and you are back. It's no apologies on Beck. It's time for brain food. We love it. You've been keeping a tally. I'm not gonna. I don't want. Don't say.
Okay.
Don't say. I don't know what it is, but we asked you folks what you think about brain food. If you've not yet responded, please do, because I think on Friday we're going to talk about that.
I think we're going to talk about it on Friday.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute, brain food.
Well, anyway,
yes, we'll do it on mailbag.
Do it sometime in the next 24
Friday,
hours.
you're right. We'll do it on mailbag. You're right.
Okay.
Okay.
If you have an opinion on whether we should continue brain food,
Weigh
if you
in
think it's
on our
valuable
Facebook.
and fun, say keep doing it. If you think it's a waste of your time and it makes you angry and bitter, then say stop doing it.
You can email it to us too. Oh, there's the email right there. No apologies at becknews.com. So if you are not on Facebook, super fine. Okay, so I'm starting with a word that actually came up, and let's show it on the screen. This came because it was a word used by Stark County Sheriff Corey Lee when he was here on the 30th, and he used this word, and I thought it was great. And the word is jargon. And I thought I knew what jargon meant until I looked at it, and apparently it can be a noun or a verb. I had no idea jargon could be a verb. I know the noun version, the technical terminology or characteristic idiom of a special activity or group, sports jargon, obscure and often pretentious language marked by circumlocutions and long words. I don't use that word.
Circumlocution, yes.
And an academic essay filled with jargon. Confused, unintelligible language could be jargon, or a strange, outlandish, or barbarous language or dialect. The other kind of jargon is a verb. It means twitter or warble. It's like a bird sound. A jargon is a bird sound. It's a chirp, chirrup, chitter, cheep. It's a peep, tweet, or Twitter. That is the other kind of jargon. I had no idea. The jargon I know means language, lingo, patter, shop talk, slang, vocabulary, terminology. So very interesting. In a sentence, you would say medical jargon that a layman cannot understand, and it was first used in the 14th century. Jargon.
Interesting. Circumlocution is to go in a circle, to move in a circle. So it could just be walking, but it also, as with jargon,
Talking
it turns
around
it, yes,
things.
like circular logic.
Makes perfect.
I know this because I'm a politician.
I am not.
And we use it to the disadvantage of the citizens. All right.
What do you
So
got?
bring up mine. I've got, mine always tend to be just a little bit morbid.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
I'm just going to prepare myself.
Charles Bannon is the gentleman in the, the lowest one with the dark hair. He's
Okay, in
only
the center.
22 years old there.
Oh, wow.
22
He looks
years
older
old.
than 22.
Yeah, life in North Dakota was a little tougher in the 1920s and 30s. Far left, you've got a state's attorney, the tall guy there with the bow tie. Here, he looks familiar to me, but he is a deputy sheriff, and then far right, you've got a sheriff. I think they're all in probably Williams County, if I remember correctly. So what I'm referring to is the last lynching in North Dakota. The last lynching in North Dakota took place in 1931, January 29th, 1931. Yeah, so this young guy, there's a family of farmers called the Havers. Their last name is Haven, and they're up by Watford City, just a little bit east of Watford City, I think. They sort of just like disappeared, more or less. And then this young guy, Charles Bannon, was working on the farm. He's saying, yeah, they went somewhere. I'm renting the place. Bannon's dad came and started working. They worked the farm and all of that, but the family was just sort of never heard from again.
Interesting.
Yes, and eventually people started saying, something's not right.
Right.
When the young Charles started selling the property of the farm. They said, this is not right. And then his dad went off to say, I'm going to go look for the Havens. Anyway, bottom line is that he finally confessed to murdering the entire family. The entire family of 6.
Oh,
6.
my.
And the story is that he accidentally killed the eldest son. Like a gun went off or something, I'm forgetting what it is. And then he got scared and killed the whole family. Yes. So he was taken to Williston in the jail there, and then they moved him from Williston to Schaefer, North Dakota, which had a little tiny stone jail. And a mob came, and he was in the jail with his dad. This is kind of freaky to me. So you're in there with your 22-year-old kid, right?
Right.
Maybe he knew, I don't know. But the mob came in, they knocked down the door. The jailer, I forget if it was a deputy or what, wouldn't give him the keys. They hauled the sheriff, the deputy, the jailer out. They bashed down the door.
Wow.
They took 22-year-old Charles Bannon, and they hung him from a bridge. I think it was over Cherry Creek.
Wow.
And there he died, and that was the last lynching.
Then they left his
in
dad
North
there
Dakota.
in the cell and leave him
Well,
alone,
the dad eventually was charged as an accomplice to murder.
Oh, he probably helped get rid of the body.
And it was appealed because some believe he had nothing, didn't have a clue, and was legitimately looking for the family, but he was convicted and lost on appeal. So there you go.
Wow. Interesting story. That's a very interesting, macabre story. It was a good story.
Macabre, very good.
You're welcome. Okay, my next word is confabulation. This was viewer submitted. Now, I'd heard the shortened version term confab before, but I'd never heard the whole word confabulation before. It is a noun, and it is a filling in of gaps in memory through the creation of false memories by an individual who is affected with a memory disorder or a Korsakoff syndrome and is unaware that the fabricated memories are inaccurate and false. It can be a verb also, which means to talk informally or chat, and that's the version I knew. To confer would be a confab. So confabulate is a fabulous word, and making fantastic fabrications. So interesting.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's continue in the macabre or macabre line of thought here. Pull up the next graphic. So this next one is about a book. It's called The Surgeon's Wife. You may or may not know I am a surgeon. And this is about a plastic surgeon. And so my wife got this book.
As a gift to you?
No.
Okay.
She bought it. She likes murder mysteries.
Okay.
And see, they appeared
This
to
looks
have
like
the
it's-
perfect marriage.
this looks like it's
but
real,
did
though.
it become the perfect crime?
Ugh.
It is real.
Okay.
It's a documentary, the true story, obsession, rage, murder. So my wife got this book, and I said to her, well, yeah, I used to work with that guy.
Oh no,
I know
you
that
did
guy.
not.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did. And she was fast. I've never seen her like this excited for, well, you know, at me knowing a murderer. She was jazzed.
She thought that was
She
cool.
was jazzed.
Okay.
So it turns out Robert Birnbaum was a plastic surgeon in Minot.
Minot, North Dakota.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I used to hang with this guy. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he had a home in Grand Forks. He lived in Minot, and he was a plastic surgeon. And he would come down. We used to have, in the old days when I was first here, 1997 to 1999, when he was still around, we would meet Curtis Chahala and the other people in this area. We would have what we called Journal Club, and we would discuss difficult cases, new techniques, things like that.
Neat.
So Bob would come down with his wife. I think she was an OBGYN. Very interesting gal. So Bob had a daughter. He'd bring his wife down. He was quirky, but seemed to be a nice guy, but very quirky. He was very interested. At that time in the late 90s, we were saying, hey, breast reductions could be, you can be outpatient. You don't have to be put in the hospital. And so Bob was saying, we should demand a higher reimbursement from the hospitals, or from the insurance companies if we don't put them in the hospital, because it'll save them a ton of money.
Right.
Well, yeah, so I was shocked when in 1999 then, he had to go back to New York. So the story is, and again, this is what he was convicted on, so I'll say it's fact. He was married initially. Back in 1985, his first wife, Gail, disappeared. Yes. Bottom line is, at the age of 44, he was convicted of second-degree murder. It was believed that he took his wife, cut her up in little pieces, maybe medium-sized pieces. I mean, he's probably going to cut at the joints and stuff because he is a plastic surgeon. Put her in a suitcase. He had a pilot's license, and he had access in his flight plans over that period of time going out over the Atlantic on the eastern seaboard. They proposed, and the jury believed then that he likely put her in the suitcase, threw her off the plane into the ocean, never to be seen. And so Bob was convicted. He appealed, lost the appeal, and so I don't know where it stands right now, but he was convicted 20 years to life. So
wow.
There you go.
I've never heard that story.
True story.
Interesting. Very cool stuff. Okay. All right. Let's go and come back with an executive order from Biden. I almost going to say JR.
Did you forget who our president was?
Well, I did for a second.
Executive
It's
order
hard for me to
from-
say it, okay?
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
We'll be right back.
When you can't find answers to your recurring health challenges, it can feel like your health and your future are being held hostage. The Wellness Way is a network of health restoration clinics that think and act differently to solve the health challenges others can't. Here, we disrupt the standard approach to care through a combination of testing, individual plans, and one-on-one guidance, putting your health and your future where they belong, in your own hands.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
40 years ago, Aero Service Team started with one truck and lots of hard work.
Times may have changed, but the hard work that we put in to get your lives back in order after fire, water, and disaster hasn't.
Over the years, we've seen so many families lose their belongings due to water and fire damage. Restoring homes back to the original state has made every hour of hard work well worth it.
Thank you for trusting our family with yours.
When disaster strikes, you only have to make one call. Aero Service Team does it all.
Every great pizza has a secret. At New York To Go, that secret lies in our perfectly recreated New York water, the key ingredient to making our signature New York-style pizza. We also feature gyros, with the region's only gyro meat spit. Plus, Nathan's Hot Dogs, calzones, and our delicious jumbo buffalo wings. Try a 14-inch or our special giant 20-inch pizza tonight. You gotta know how to fold them if you want to hold them. New York to go. We deliver for you.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Hey, welcome back to No Apologies on Beck. We are going to talk about an executive order from, I think you're trying to think of Joseph
Robinette. That's what I was trying to come up with. It's hard. It is hard to say his
suddenly
name.
I got mental too, just like you.
Sometimes it's really hard to just
Joseph
spit his name
Robinette
out.
Biden
We
Jr.
are doing executive order number 50.
Well, you can't have enough executive orders.
Well, there are some people who think that. Let's show the graphic and just jump right in. So this is the first of many.
All right, the memorandum, revitalization of our national security and foreign policy institutions is essential to advancing America's security, prosperity, and values, accelerating our domestic renewal and delivering results for all Americans. Okay, so hold on, don't move the graphic. Revitalization of our national security.
Think about that just for a second. Just let that percolate in your brain.
Right.
The revitalization of our national security. That means nothing. That means absolutely nothing.
I want to know what domestic renewal means.
Well, it's all gobbledygook, all of it. It means nothing. Words mean things, but these words do not go together.
I want to know what delivering results means.
Right? That's pretty nebulous as well, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it's all gobbledygook.
See, right now, already, I don't need to read the rest of it. I know it's stupid. I know it's leftist garbage.
Yep.
I know it's politically correct garbage, and I only need to read the title. How about if you leftists can maybe use some creative writing to fool me into wanting to read your memorandum and believing that maybe there's a chance you have some sense of logic and sanity
No
left.
logic.
But you can't. You
That'd be
can't even do that.
ridiculous.
You have to give me a ridiculous title.
All right, let's go to the next graphic too, because it just gets weirder. For too long, we have asked our public servants to do more in an increasingly complicated and competitive world with fewer financial resources and less support.
Liar!
Would you like to maybe, translate that for the general public here?
Yeah, I translate it into a flat-out lie. Fewer financial resources
Right?
and less support. Financial resources for federal agencies
Yes, right.
is, I mean, it's gone up under Obama, under Trump, under Biden especially. It's gone crazy. And it's just a flat-out lie.
It is.
I don't know. I don't know what to say.
There's lie after lie in this whole thing, too. It's basically talking about how they're going to redistribute wealth, which is what they talk about in every single one of the executive orders. All right, the next one says, in a democracy...
Wait, we don't live in a democracy.
Oh, that's right. It's a
So are
republic.
they talking about another country?
It's a lie.
They're talking about another country.
Yeah, because you're right. It's not a democracy. It's
Sorry.
a republic. The public deserves as much transparency as possible regarding the work of our national security institutions, consistent with legitimate needs to protect sources and methods, blah, blah, blah. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can't?
Nope. Let's go to the next one. I would like to see the next one. I'm out.
I had so much to say on that, but no, let's keep going.
No, let's just keep going.
Rock
Yeah,
and
we're
roll.
rocking and rolling here because this is just ridiculous.
'Kay.
So, however, working with other nations is no longer enough. Technological, social, and geopolitical changes are combining to expand the power and influence of non-state and subnational actors, making their views on a wide range of national security and foreign policy issues important, and cooperation with them essential. A diverse range of these actors is needed to address the pressing problems on our nation's agenda. So,
You know, this deserves a little closer reading.
okay.
Technological, social, geopolitical changes are combining. So that's difficult to understand. To expand the power and influence of non-state and subnational actors, making their views on a wide range of national security and foreign policy issues important. What they're saying is big tech is now having a voice
Right.
in the governance of the United States and the world.
You're exactly
That's
right.
what this says.
That's what it says. You're right, because if you look on the upper right corner, it says technological. They get that first nod, and then social and geopolitical changes. So they're talking about technology. You're exactly right. They're giving all the power over to big tech.
Damn right, I'm right.
All right, moving on. Improve the federal government's ability to mobilize and support partners where appropriate so that they can help the government achieve important national objectives. Yeah. The government is going to achieve important national objectives, not the people, by golly. The government is in charge, and you ought to know that. Okay.
So, Obama
Yes.
said similar things. He was talking about civilian security, and that goes hand in hand with our previous graphic. Partners, right? Partners.
Yeah,
It means whatever. It means that we're putting the force of government into non-government hands. Let's play an Obama clip here.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Just as well funded.
A civilian force.
Oh, okay.
That's the brown shirts, hello, brown shirts of Germany, 1920s and 30s. Good Lord.
So this is a memorandum revitalizing America's foreign policy and national security workforce institutions and partnerships. And I'm happy to say we are done with this one, too, because that was really annoying.
It was. All right.
Tomorrow.
Folks, tomorrow, you go.
Good stuff. Well, we're going to talk about ESG, the ESG movement first of all.
Environmental social governance.
And also, we are sharing a little video presentation a la Dr. Representative, reporter, extraordinaire Rick Becker. Join us then.